Just in a very dramatic 6-red shootout on the main table. Aaron Davies just getting the better of the world champion Clayton Castaldi. Here we are on table 3. Shaun Chipperfield taking on John McAllister. Both players had good years last year. Shaun Chipperfield made the final of the Players' Championship, still on the hunt for his maiden individual title. John McAllister had a couple of good runs in his introductory year to Ultimate Pool. A couple of last 16s and quarter-finals have stood him in good stead, as well as that doubles title with Connor Treacy, his fellow pro teammate. That was a great split to start things off for Shaun. Just got to be a little bit careful here, just landing on the next ball. Got to make sure that he gets the white into a comfortable position, either to take on the yellow in the middle pocket or into the bottom left-hand corner. It's an optional choice. And he's ended up on neither. That's a poor shot. Had quite a lot of room for error. All he had to do was make sure that that red wasn't an issue, and it has become so. It could be interesting to see what he can do here. He can still cut this into the middle. Can he play it long? That's what he tried, but he's not got it. That red lingering over the pocket means that this is a golden opportunity for John McAllister to get us started in this match. And that'll annoy Shaun because he was in a good position there. It's amazing how tough those shots are, especially on a super fine cloth like this, where just that little bit of contact on the secondary red after potting that yellow just caused him to go wayward with the white ball. From prime position, it's got to be said. John's got a good angle here just to pot this red and play into the red on the right hand side cushion. Doesn't want to catch it full ball, wants to catch it half or less. That is not ideal. Everything's just got in the way of each other here. Can he potentially play? Can he play the plant with the red? I think that's what he's looking at. So, a little bit of pressure on this shot, should make it. Yeah, that's very nice. Made sure that red came back into play as well. It's very easy to lose that red once it pots off of the other. Put back in prime position here for the former world champion. And one thing you will notice about John McAllister and Shaun Chipperfield that differs is their playing styles around the table. You will not see a more casual player than John McAllister. Just almost dawdles around the table, not saying that in a bad way, just very relaxed. Everything's very smooth, nothing's rushed. Whereas with Shaun Chipperfield, arguably one of the quickest players on the tour, you can just see the rapid pace he gets down and plays shots at. It is going to be 1-0 to the man formerly from Coventry. Just looking into the scores at the moment in the last 64, Jack Whelan's 5-3 up on Josh Duhaj in the last 64. John Rose on the hill against Peter Milani. That has been a long game, but it is slowly getting to its conclusion, as is Vivek Mack. He's 6-4 up on Josh Kane. Greg Batten, great result for Greg. 7-0 over Emma Cunningham. And Dave McNamara just getting over the line 7-3 against Lewis Roberts. So he's then progressing to the last 32. And joining me in the comms box is somebody that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Stevie Dempsey. Stevie, how are we, mate?
Not too bad, Luke. Sorry for the delay. Got sidetracked there.
It's alright, you're professionally late. That's what we call it.
So, how did the first round go? Was it a dish?
It wasn't a dish. Shaun should have dished it, really. Tried to play one good positional shot. All he had to do was just make sure he got the flick on a red right. Didn't, and ended up snookering himself on his target ball, and then was chasing the frame after that, really. And John managed to get in and was clinical in his finish.
Got a pretty nice chance here as well for 2-0.
It's an interesting game, isn't it, for the last 64, Stevie? Because it could easily be a final, really, these two.
Yeah, two class acts. Definitely tough on Shaun to get John in the last 64. John obviously had a good win against Morgan earlier. I think 7-4 maybe he beat him.
Yeah, it was 7-4.
But I can't see him making a mistake here.
See, it's interesting because I would argue, Stevie, that probably these are the two best players now on the tour not to have their own individual title. Obviously, John's won the doubles with Connor and Shaun's won the doubles with Carl. But what do you think it's going to take for one of these two to get over the line this year? Is there anything in their game, or is it just a case of a matter of time?
Yeah, I mean, especially for Chippy, I would say he's been right there a number of times. He's probably been 3 or 4 semi-finals. Well, it feels like that anyway. And I know he got to the final of the Players against Phil earlier in the year. So he's definitely knocking on the door. As we look, yeah, it's a good, nicely cued from John. He's perfect just to come down the table. And then, yeah, obviously John has been finding his feet, and I felt like the latter half of the year he was definitely improving and getting some better results. Most of the time, if you looked at who John had lost to, it was always someone who was either getting to a final or winning it. So he yeah, obviously John's very capable, former world champion. So he'll definitely feel that he can lift the title this year.
And it's interesting, actually, obviously, because we've just seen Clayton out, obviously making his debut as well on Ultimate Pool. Obviously, the current world champion as things stand. But it's not easy, no matter who you are, coming into this kind of arena. I think a lot of players maybe have come from the black ball background and played on a different coloured cloth. Obviously, then had to try and get used to this, as well as the big arena and the conditions. And it's not easy to adapt. And I think it's been very rare to see someone move over and immediately have success.
Yeah, for sure. It's yeah. Look, Clayton will be, I suppose, feeling a little bit disappointed from 5-1 up. But I mean, Aaron played amazing in that last game, and obviously Clayton's put in a really good 6-red time.
That's the kind of momentum you can build from an opening weekend.
Yeah, it's not. It's. I know he did that, and Tom did it in the Pro Series winning too. But it's not really realistic to get, especially in the pros, given the standard, to get 2 good runs. It's your odds are pretty low. So I think most players will be happy with a good run in one of the events.
It's a decent split for John. Things to work out here, though.
Yeah, I think the red, I think the red tied up in them yellows has made his mind up that he's gonna go yellows, because I think just one little nudge, and if he can actually cannon the red off the yellow that's closest to the middle, this should come out pretty nicely.
Yeah, do you know what? I was just thinking whether that red actually went into the top left or not. Whether that would make a difference in his decision. But
he needs to track it. He's only got one go of tracking it though, because he'll have to clear the other ones first. So yeah, I would be going this way. I think that's the correct way to be going, and possibly trying to.
How are you playing this cannon? Are you trying to hit into the red, or are you?
I think you've got a chance that the red might stay there. It's tricky. You could just give this a gentle nudge. Send the yellow up the table, and if that yellow passes the 8-ball, just looking at it now, I don't think it does actually. So yeah, whatever way John sees it, yeah, he's played that beautifully.
Commentator's eye that. But yeah, no, beautifully from John, beautifully played. And it's just going to be now. I
think he's just going to nudge this red out of the way and leave himself, get rid of the 2 on the top half, and try and track over to the left-hand side of the table.
It's not in the textbook, is it, to obviously turn around to somebody and go, you should be playing loads of kind of cannons in your clearances, but because of the pace of the table, it feels like cannons are happening a lot more in frames.
Yeah,
in terms of the fact that just playing those little nudges. And I think John's one of the best at that, and I think it's probably why he's seen as much success as he has in the first part of his kind of time with Ultimate Pool.
Yeah, he strikes the ball lovely. Even that one, he just hit that ball nice and firm there, and didn't really get much action. Just brought the white over to where he wanted to. So you feel like this is frame ball. I don't really see it going wrong after this.
A little bit of a rattle in the jaws, but he's absolutely fine. It's one of them that it feels like if you strike it clean enough, it will find its way in.
So he's decided to go for the trickier one. I think this is the right shot just because he's absolutely perfect on it.
Yeah, perfectly played. And I think the most annoying thing about playing John as well is just how simplistic it looks around the table. Never pulls a face, never does anything, just kind of lumbers around the table and just hits every ball in sight in. And when you're in Shaun Chipperfield's position, you know, you made your one mistake at 0-0 and you're 3-0 down.
Yeah, I seen that result. It's quite a freak result.
It was one of them that David had the opening opportunity in the first frame, and you looked at it and you went, okay, he probably should have taken that. Didn't quite. And then Connor just went on a run of 4 in a row, 5-0 up. Then David once again got to the table but didn't have anything to go at. Connor cleared up, and then Connor cleared up again. And it was brilliant from Connor, but at the same time, I mean, we didn't really see any of David at all.
Yeah, we can see Chippy has a pretty good chance here. He's not going to miss these, so he'd be delighted to get back to 3-1.
A little bit of a smile on his face there as he was running around the table. But these are just the clearances that Chippy doesn't miss. Just knows he's going to pot them as he's walking around. And he needs this as well. Didn't want to fall 4-0 behind, and he hasn't. 3-1.
There was a few teething problems with the stream, etc., and a couple of players had a few issues with it. But aside from that, I suppose out in the main room where the 16 tables were, there was a really good atmosphere I felt over the weekend. And felt like a proper event, and I think anyone who played in it really enjoyed it. So yeah, onwards and upwards, and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, so any player in Ireland, get yourself involved, alright? You'll get the chance to meet Declan Brennan. But it's going to be Shaun Chipperfield that gets to the table first here, but this is a horrible layout. I don't know if you can quite see the yellow into the bottom corner. Even if you can, just that cluster on the left-hand side just makes things awkward. It'll be interesting. I think he might be planning to go straight into this. Got an angle, yeah, he's winding it up, but the angle that he's got, Stevie, is he going to be able to catch that top ball? It just looks to me like it's going to hit the second ball rather than the one he's intending.
I think he still has to play it though.
Yeah.
And
it's a bit fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, given where that yellow's gone, I think I'd be pulling back here. I think if I can get the white stuck to the black,
he's in control of the frame at that point.
Yeah, because it frees up his yellow. That yellow probably goes if you got on the side rail, but you want to have this one over the pocket as something to track off it. So yeah, that's not a bad shot either.
Oh, Shaun.
Did that just roll off on him slightly?
Well, he didn't react to it as if it hit. It did. I mean, if he has just missed it altogether, that's poor, but yeah, I can't quite believe it, really. But it's going to be John McAllister with ball in hand. Still tough from here for John, but I mean, I don't think he would have been expecting to come to the table with a free ball. Be interesting to see what he does here. I don't know.
I think if I'm John, I'm just going to drop the yellow over the pocket.
Would there be any advantage to playing the loss of turn, just the red on the yellow? And
yeah, that's what I would be playing, I think, because this is a tricky shot.
This could go wrong if this white sits in.
Oh, that's a great shot.
He has lost the white slightly though.
Yeah, he's got a big pocket though. He's fine. He should be okay here.
Hampered over as well though. He should make it, but it's one of them that you've got to kind of move the white a little bit, and it just brings the tariff of the shot up a little bit.
I just think where the 8-ball is here, I wouldn't have went game. I would have dropped Shaun's yellow, and
that's a great shot off the cushion.
Played that very well.
But yeah, no, I completely understand your point. I mean, that black there's not an easy way to get to it.
If he wants to, I mean, now he could, the one nearest the white, if he wants to try and cut that into the top left-hand pocket and screw off the side cushion to move to black, he's guaranteed to be on one of the other ones. I don't think he's seen that shot, but it's a tough pot, but you probably lose the frame if you don't get it. But I mean,
in John's position at 3-1 ahead, I don't know if I would be that bothered playing that aggressive a shot. I wonder if he's got the option here to push through on this and then screw straight from the red.
I think even just give yourself the angle to come off the cushion and go into them, because you should have a chance at.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because John's got an abundance of cue power. If he did just want to screw directly into the 8 and leave himself that straight angle, I reckon he would get the shot right. But as I say, it's down to your preference. He might go 2 cushions here. I wonder if that's what he's looking at.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to play this off the bottom cushion as my second cushion instead of the side one, and try and force the 8 ball up towards the centre, because there's a chance you could go in off here if he catches that yellow.
He has.
He's going.
It's gone your way, I think. Or is he going side cushion? I think that is. Or is he playing short position?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to go cushion first and hoping to get a shot at it. If he catches, he'd probably be unlucky not to have some sort of shot as long as he goes cushion first, even if he comes and catches the yellow. He's played that nice, and he's got a shot.
It's not the best, it's not the worst.
He's got a shot, but yeah, I felt it was difficult to get on it from there.
Yeah, this is a tough little 8 ball for John. I figure he's going to have to cut this in the middle. Is he going to treble it?
He's going to double it off the yellow, is he? Oh, it went. Oh, wow. So that's why he went that way.
So now Shaun Chipperfield's got to go chasing again. It's 4-1 down. But he is on break. That's a great split again from Shaun. And it's not bad for reds here. I think I would just favour reds. That yellow in the top bulk of the area.
Yeah, it's got to be reds, really. I think if there's a gap between the yellow and red, even the plant is pretty nice as well.
Well, you can play the plant and leave the other yellow to the middle pocket. Wow.
Just wiped its feet.
Yeah, you can always leave that yellow into the right middle as a bit of insurance, even if you take the plant on and don't land on the intent on the red afterwards. So he's got loads of insurance policies here to make this clearance.
So there must be a gap there the way he's played that.
Yeah, he's down on it quick, so I think he did have to swerve that a little bit, but he played it pretty well.
Yeah, he seems to have the perfect angle just to come down for the higher of those two. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, this won't be any more than 15 seconds, I'm sure. And another quick kill for Shaun Chipperfield. Gets him back within 2, 4-2 now.
So a lovely start for Kyle. First year as a professional. One of the most improved players probably in pool over the last 12 months, you would say.
I mean, it's taken some beating for Kyle. I mean, obviously has already played his group in the Champions League and was almost a bit unlucky, really, when he played Tom Cousins, that he didn't have much luck in the game itself. He went to the 6 red and unfortunately just didn't post a good time. But what do you make of the players that have come up this year, Stevie? Obviously, this is the first season that we've seen 16 challengers come up. You've got, obviously, Sean Sharkey in that mix as well. You've got Kyle, Tom Jones, who played earlier today. Josh Duhas has already got a win on the board. Loads of the players have come up and immediately made an impact.
Yeah, there's I mean, the 16 players that have come up, I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but definitely, the front 8 or 10 are all top players. You can see Shaun had a huge win over Goobsy earlier. Connor Tracy's obviously flying.
I mean, even Christy Caulfield, who
Yeah.
came through as the 16th player, straight away came up. Great win against Cole Morris.
Yeah, Christie's a class player. Yeah, there's just so many, and then David Hogan as well. Obviously, didn't get off to a great start today, but I've no doubt that David will cause a lot of upsets this year.
Yeah, I mean, David is definitely in that mix of players that could just come straight up, and wouldn't surprise me if he made a semi-final or a final in a particular event. But as I say, it's just teething in sometimes, I think, which is the issues for players.
Oh.
John, that's an uncharacteristic mistake. He's a bit unlucky.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a huge need for the shot he played, but I guess with these tables and the way the balls just slide off each other, you can just lose the white so easily. And I mean, Chippy would be absolutely delighted, because this gives him a real opportunity to get back into the match. With his break next as well. So.
And this feels like another kind of chippy clearance, doesn't it? The ones that he can kind of just run at. And I think this is where he's at his best, when he can just get down and make those quick fire finishes. Almost intimidate his opponent in the way that he goes about it.
Yeah, you can definitely say that, alright.
I was going to say, is he a player you enjoy playing, Stevie? I suppose you can't really enjoy playing any player because they're playing against you, but at the same time,
not really, because nothing's really safe, and some frames you're thinking, yeah, you're your favourite here, and then he just pulls out ridiculous shots, so that could be quite frustrating. But obviously, he's an enjoyable player to watch, I suppose. But frustrating at the same time, because the finishes he takes out are just ridiculous.
Yeah, he went a little bit wrong there. He wanted to be straight on that yellow.
I think he's fine. He can still just drop it and come back up towards the middle pocket.
Yeah, he has got a good angle. So, he's overcut it.
Oh wow! It did look like that was pretty careless.
It was the shot before to land on this yellow. As I say, he just wanted to come dead straight on it just to push through, and you could see his reaction when he didn't, which then let him go high on the next one, and that's where it's gone wrong. But reprieve here for John. Probably wouldn't have expected to get back to the table after fouling, but he has. Oh, but John's missed.
Wow.
Well, it's not often you see John McAllister make two mistakes like that in the course of one frame, but...
Yeah, I mean, was there a need to go into the 8 ball? It wasn't tight in the rail. I mean, just make sure of the pot. I think he was trying to get he was too worried about getting the right cannon, but I mean,
yeah.
Chippy won't believe that he's got back to the table here.
I mean, I can't believe Chippy's got back to the table. It's got to be said, but...
And that's the type of frame that, and for Chippy as well, even though he won it, you just feel that it might make the rest of the match a little edgy.
But here we go, Shaun Chipperfield back on break and opportunity to level the scores. And he kicked it in off. That's a bit unlucky, but he didn't catch the break clean.
Yeah, but the yellows have all come out. I mean, he can get rid of the top 4, come down, and if he can track the white onto the bottom cushion, then play the one over the hole, these are very gettable.
Yeah, there is a route here. It's all about your cue ball. Feels like an important visit for John as well, especially as the way that the last frame went. He'll probably want to put it to the back of his mind as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think it just depends what way he wants to go about this. It's all about leaving yourself the right angle on that one in the centre of the table to get onto the one on the bottom rail. You could try and leave yourself a cut to the bottom right hand corner and drift down, or leave yourself a nice angle to the centre, but you need to be very precise if you're trying to track it in the centre. Because he still has the option of the one over the pocket, so it's not the end of the world if he doesn't get nice on the one on the rail. And That looks as good as he could have. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect.
Great shot from John.
Yeah, it's perfect. So he's given himself a real chance here because he can just drift down to somewhere in between the two yellows on the bottom rail. That would be perfect.
And do you know what? It goes back a little bit, Stevie, as well, to when you did that interview with Simon Webb, and you broke off and you kind of talked through the finishes as you went. And I mean, to the eye of any normal player, they'd probably think, "Oh, just land anywhere on the yellow. You know, screw back, play the plant, do whatever you want to do." But it's just finding those little finer details that just make the clearance so much easier. You know, if John lands straight on this yellow, then actually the clearance is a lot tougher.
And he couldn't have played that any better.
It's beautiful from John.
He just left himself a little angle to come off the cushion as well to make sure he's perfect on the one over the pocket. But yeah, he's been pinpoint perfect on this clearance so far. This is really the only way it can go wrong, I think, if he tries to punch this and to get out and it doesn't go.
Yeah, just got to make sure he doesn't rattle this. That's absolutely fine. And he's just eyeing up there where exactly he wants that white ball. Just wants to come... If he's going to finish anywhere, maybe just slightly high on it, just so the white's coming away from the 8 ball, not going towards it.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So a good response from John after the last frame, making those 2 errors.
It's a classic John McAllister finish, isn't it? Just calm, composed, and like the last frame never happened. And it's going to be this 8 ball. 5-3. Yeah, great finish from John. And he was a set to nil down in that. And I don't know how, but him just smashing the balls around and just hammering everything in, all of a sudden it was like Chippy just turned back up again and he just went back into clinical mode and dished Rob off the table. But I can't believe that's gone dry from John.
Wow.
Hit that clean as a whistle. But reprieve for Chippy here and an opportunity. Not ideal.
Yeah, I think he'd be happy enough though. I think a little bit awkward around the 8 ball and the yellow there, but it's a good shot.
Great opener. He's going to play the plant here. It's a tough shot. Once again, played really nicely.
Yeah, I wonder can he generate enough bottom left hand side of the one up the top to screw down in towards the 8 ball and disturb that sort of cluster. That would really open up the frame for him.
Is he... Thought he was looking at a double there for a minute, maybe not. Yeah, it's that yellow by the 8 ball, isn't it? The huge issue here.
Yeah, it's tricky because if he does try and, I don't think he's going to hold back, but yeah, he's going to flick off this and play the plant. Oh, and that has not come out. He's in a bit of trouble now.
This is horrible. Don't think he's got a pocket. Unless it goes into that top left, but I mean, even so.
The reds are all there. The red that's up the top of the table directly in front of the yellow, he's going for the cutback. He could have tried to.
This is high tariff.
That is a ridiculous shot. That is ridiculous. And this is,
don't tell me that's hung.
How
is that not dropped?
How is it hung off the near jaw?
That is ridiculous.
Wow.
It looked surefire it was going.
Yeah, that's unlucky. But that, and again, they're the type of shots that Chippy has in his arsenal. He can just pull them out.
I'd almost love to get an overhead view of that, just to be able to see how much in the pocket that is. But John McAllister won't mind. Great opportunity now to get on the hill.
Decided to go up the table now.
Yeah, this is just a case of just minding your work and keeping your composure, which is something that John does very, very well. You know, Stevie, when you're doing normal commentary, it's quite often that you'll have a lot to talk about in terms of other players going around the clearance, but John's just so casual with it. You almost don't need to commentate. He just kind of does the work for you.
Yeah, he's got a lovely way of, yeah, as you said, going
Oh, he's
about
lost
it.
the white ball though.
He's played a great kiss. It's a great cannon. He played that. He's got away with one there. Yeah, he left himself a little bit too much angle, and that's as we were just saying, it looked like there's no way it could go wrong, and even for top players like John.
It's just the pace of the table, isn't it?
Yeah, easy finishes to just get away from you so quickly. He still should be fine here, but just a shot he would prefer not to have had to play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. And he gets on the hill 6-3 to John. Still time for Chippy to come back, and John will definitely know that this match isn't over, given with who he's playing. But yeah,
it's been a weird game because I wouldn't say that John's played good. He hasn't played great.
Early doors. Oh,
wow.
And it's just stayed in. It just stayed on the table.
Likes playing with that bottom top left-hand corner, doesn't Chippy? Obviously in the last one, they don't know how that yellow didn't drop, and White's right in it this time. I mean, he absolutely hammered that break. Cue balls flying around everywhere, but he has got an opportunity.
Yeah, if that red he can nudge. They are still tricky here, but I don't think it's just one cannon he needs to get right, really. It's the difficult part of it. And he's tried to go into it now, and
Shaun.
He needed to be catching the red there. And just not happening for Chippy. Anytime he tries to go into play a cannon or go into a ball, it's just not coming out nice for him. Can he get this off cushion first? And he can, yeah.
It's a great shot, but still a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, if he can clip this into the centre, but I think he's too low on it. So he's probably going to get rid of these two, and I'm not sure how he's going to finish these, but
he might have to. I mean, it looks like he might be going for your cut, but the only other way I think is if he can stun the red in. I don't know if he's got a gap, or I was thinking he might just be able to flick off the black, but he's hit it full ball. Yeah, this is no man's land now for Chippy. He's got to try and find a way to hold himself in this game somehow.
He might just decide to have a wallop at this, and I think that's what he's doing. Yeah.
Anything doing? No. He's not. I don't think he's left an easy opener for John here, though.
I think he can.
Can he just click the one in the middle?
Yeah, and he's got the one beside him. I don't think it's too bad. I think. Yeah, I think he'll play this one beside him to the corner and should be frame over, really, and match.
Yeah, lovely shot from John. This feels like the beginning of the end, potentially for Shaun Chipperfield. Just got to be a little bit cautious of that 8 ball. I think that's the only thing now that could be a hurdle. And that's why he's played the cannon there. Great shot from John. Just a little score update for you for another one of the debutants that's having another good run again. Connor Treacy, currently 5-4 up on Carl Sutton. So, interesting to see if he can carry on his form there. And Connor Jones as well from his great win earlier on is 2-1 up on Luke Gilbert. But yeah, John is flowing at the moment. Just, as I say, just one of those players that in this position you just never see him miss. And Chippy's already got both his cues in his hand, I think, ready to walk out. But It
Yeah,
will.
just needs to get back to somewhere straight on the table and get the white to the blue spot for the 8 ball.
Yeah, he'd get the next position shot right, and it is game over officially, I feel. Yeah, played it nicely.
Yeah, that's perfect. He can just come back a foot, half a foot.
He's decided to play right to the side cushion.
Still okay. Could have been better than that, but still okay.
Needs potting, but it is going to be this 8 ball to see John McAllister get over the line 7-3 against Shaun Chipperfield. And that is the case. They will shake hands. John McAllister goes through to the round of 32. Shaun Chipperfield unfortunately eliminated, but will be back for event 2.